Are you ready? Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we are headed to the world of Last Epoch. The good old developers from 11th Hour Games have officially dropped the official patch notes for 0.8.2, and they are very long and extensive. Now this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be breaking this down into two videos. The first video is just going to be going through the actual patch notes as far as what is written, and the second video will be logging into the game once the patch is officially live, and we'll go through the menus and we will actually check out what it looks like in game. Alright, as always I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. Alright, let's jump right into this. Right now we are on the official Last Epoch website under patch notes. Now what I'm going to do is play the overview video from 11th Hour Games. Once we're done watching this, I'm going to go through the actual breakdown of the patch notes that aren't covered in this video. Enjoy.
Hey there travelers, this is Judd Kobler, Game Director for Last Epoch, and this is an overview of patch 0.8.2. This update brings huge changes to Last Epoch's endgame. We knew that we wanted to give players a better sense of progression, more variety in how they play, more midterm goals, and most importantly, better rewards. To meet these goals, we're introducing a massive update to the Monolith of Fate system. We've done away with our old timeline progression. A Monolith timeline is now an ever-expanding web of choices, which you can choose to navigate as you see fit. Each Echo will show individual rewards that you will earn if you defeat the Echo without dying, but attempting it must be weighed against the stacking negative modifiers it will introduce to your run. As you traverse the timeline, you will fill its stability bar to gain access to quest and boss events, which may challenge to mend the timeline and unveil the next unstable one. Or, you may press on stacking corruption, which will further increase both your risk and rewards. Corruption is gained by defeating the most epic boss we've ever created, the Shade of Orifice. The Shade of Orifice is a reflection of the torment and despair lying at the heart of the void. This is a randomized boss that appears in one of 5 main types. He has over 30 different abilities and 4,000 possible combinations. Defeating him will give you a chance for some awesome loot, and also reset the Echo Web so you can continue choosing Echoes in the same increasingly challenging timeline. We've updated old and introduced new Echo objectives to provide a more varied experience. We've created new and more threatening spires, changed forges to more thematically appropriate time seals, added mini arenas, patrolling target objectives, as well as rare Echo types such as vessels and beacons which have effects on the web itself. We're very excited to have you experience this new system and continue to expand on it in the future. This patch also brings a massive update to the user interface. These updates include a complete visual overhaul to every single existing panel. For example, the inventory and crafting panel have been updated to be more user-friendly and visually appealing. You'll notice that the idle inventory has been reshaped and gained additional slots to encourage using a wider variety of idle types. We're also introducing a new panel to track and view your blessings. We've completely updated the in-game maps, which better showcase the world of Atera, and how the passage of time has affected it. You'll also notice that quest information now exists within the map panel for better accessibility. Minion Ai has been improved so that your minions will now be able to better keep up with you, engage enemies more quickly, and prioritize enemies closer to the player. And should you need to flee, your minions will guard your escape and then regroup on you faster. We've adjusted item drops so that you will receive less, but on average, better loot. And, as an ongoing effort to improve gamepad support, we've implemented auto-targeting items on the ground which can be sifted through by using the D-pad. This makes moment-to-moment gameplay significantly more enjoyable with a controller. Much more native controller support is on its way in the future. We're introducing 2 new skills in patch 0.8.2. First up is Summon Storm Crows for the Primalist. This ability lets you summon a murder of intelligent birds which will work together to rain down lightning on your enemies. These crows will learn from your actions in battle while also aiding you and your allies by bringing them berries when injured. When you activate their special ability, your crows will launch a simultaneous lightning strike at the targeted area. The second new skill is Volatile Zombie for the Acolyte. These expendable, mindless minions have only a short time to accomplish their mission. Charge the nearest enemy and explode. They can either run or leap to their target, and upon arrival, they might even just lose their lunch on your foes before detonating. As the team continues to grow, we are always revisiting and improving older content to meet our new standard of quality. There are a number of zones that have received significant visual improvements in this patch. We'll be continuing to push our limits here and make the world feel more immersive. This patch also comes with completely updated models and 2D art for one-handed swords, two-handed swords, and two-handed maces. This is another step towards ensuring each weapon and armor base type has its own unique model. This is just a taste of what has been added to Last Epoch in patch 0.8.2. You can also look forward to new arenas, skill updates, unique items, balance changes, tons of new sounds and epic music, performance optimizations, and much, much more. Come experience the new in-game and take on the Shade of Orifice in patch 0.8.2. Thank you, Traveler, and we'll see you in Atera.
Your effort is futile.
Okay, I think you get the gist. The largest patch 11th Hour Games has ever put out, so I'm going to skip everything that we have already heard about and talk about the details. Let's go. We know about the Monolith of Fate. We know about the Shade of Orifice. We know about the arena. We know about the new skills, but let's talk about skill balance. So Elemental Nova is getting overhauled a little bit. Really, the Spreading Frost is switching names to Freezing Cascade, and they are changing some of the nodes in it. So if you want to run Elemental Nova as cold, it's going to be a lot easier and better to do so. Flurry's getting updated a little bit, but it's minor tweaks really here and there. Fury Leap, which is one of my favorite skills, is getting something that I like. Added a new node to the start of the tree that increases cooldown recovery speed and damage. Yes, I like that one. Holy Aura is getting nerfed. Holy Aura now grants 15% elemental resistance from 30. I like Holy Aura, that sucks. Sigils, Divine Flares are getting a huge buff. From 125 to 300, from 25 to 60, everything on this is going to be a whole lot better if you like Divine Flares. Acolyte Skills. Oh, now we're talking Fire Necro. The big one under Acolyte Skills is the Abomination. So Assemble Abomination is getting a buff. It deals 23% more damage, and its health decay is 15% slower. It's a skill that I've never actually liked that much, but maybe it is going to be better now. We will have to check it out. And then one other tidbit that's kind of interesting, they're changing the name of mages. They used to be skeleton mages, now they're going to be skeletal mages, so that you don't get confused with regular skeletons. So now they'll actually have a full name for themselves. Mage, it's just tweaks. Primalist, just tweaks. Rogue, just tweaks. Sentinel, just tweaks. Nothing huge unless you are using Forge Strike. That is getting a pretty big buff for this update. Passives. Lich is getting a little bit of an update. Nothing huge. Again, little things here and there. This is kind of interesting. Nodes that enable dual wielding now give 15% increased damage taken while dual wielding from 12. So they are nerfing dual wielding a little bit so that you will take 3% more overall damage if you are using it. Kind of sucks, but I understand. We saw the new items and how they are going to look in the video. We heard about item drop chances already, so we will get less, but they'll be better. Crafting. This is interesting. I actually didn't see this coming. Success chance rate when raising an affix from tier 3 to tier 4 is a flat 2% lower. Success chance rate when raising an affix from tier 4 to tier 5 is a flat 5% lower. So they are actually nerfing the success rate of crafting. There's already a lot of people that think that the crafting is not very good. It's just because, obviously, there's so many times where you'll go to craft and it'll be 70, 80, sometimes 90%, and it's unsuccessful. So, that's what's always going to stick in your mind. So I get that. We know about the changes to idols. It's going to be a different shape, and they are changing how they're just tweaking some of the idols. From 9 to 24 is now going to be 11 to 30. So tweaking a lot of the idols, and then the shape is going to be different. We know about that. Rings. Complete overhaul of rings. Again, another thing I didn't see coming. Listen to this. Ruby rings will now start at level 62. So basically, a lot of rings are kind of moving over to endgame. And it'll be fire resistance and fire damage. Sapphire rings will be mana and grant increased mana regen. I like that. The minion rings will now also give minion critical multiplier. Awesome. Copper rings will be increased crit chance. Ivory rings, which is a new ring type, will give necrotic resistance and ward retention. And coral rings, which is a new ring, will give vitality and health regen. Sapphire rings are going to be the big one because there's so many builds that complain about mana regen, and we will talk a little bit about that later as well. But now you have a implicit on a ring that you can wear obviously 2 of that are going to give you mana regen. Huge, absolutely huge. We know we're getting Stormcrows and Volatile Zombies, so they're just talking about the affixes that are added to the game. Other changes in this entire column here. Again, I recommend you go and read all this for yourself before you log in tomorrow. Increased item pickup range by 33%. That is the bullet point I like, because now you don't really have to like be right on top of it to pick up the item. It just makes it smoother when you are running through your Echo. So I like that. Uniques. So I showed this in my dev chat that I posted yesterday. It's just a new one. So it looks like it doesn't look like it. We are for sure getting new uniques. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it says 5 new uniques from the Shade of Orifice. So I don't know if when it says the 5 uniques from the Shade of Orifice are these uniques here, or if it's an additional 5 uniques. It's not worded very well, 11th hour game. So maybe we are getting 11 new uniques. They don't tell us what they are, but I do want to know what this staff is. I love Acolyte. We're also getting 2 new sets. And then check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then another 4, or actually 3. 13 uniques are getting fairly large buffs. So that is good. A lot of people complain that really you are more excited to get a blue item that from your loot filter than a unique item, which is 100% correct. So they are slowly going through buffing uniques because they want you to wear 2 items from a set, a unique, and then crafted rares. They really want a balance of different items at endgame, so this will slowly get better. Now, just putting it out there, because again, my Fire Necro is the first build guide I'm going to be updating. Look at this. Death Rattle. Our amulet is getting nerfed. It normally grants 100 to 200, so you can get 200% crit multiplier for minions. It is getting nerfed to 50 to 100. But we are going to be at least getting intelligence now. And +1 to sacrifice, which we don't use. So, Death Rattle's getting a nerf. Sucks. I like my Death Rattle. Mechanics. Now I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. This is going perfectly. Minions. In the video. I know I said I'm not going to cover it. I am going to cover it. It's going to be so much stronger and a breath of fresh air that your minions will stop, fire, and not follow you around. They will speed up to catch up with you, and they will follow you closer so they can engage combat better. That alone is just a monumental buff to minions in general, and they are already very strong. I'm excited to test that in my video either later tonight or tomorrow. Mana, here we go. We talked about that Sapphire ring. Okay, so anybody out there that has struggled with a build because of mana, you should be very happy with this update because of this. Greatly increased values of increased mana regen affix. Max tier 5 has gone from 17% to 35%. 35%. That is over double. Which means you can technically have 2 Sapphire rings that have, what was it? Wait, so it's 35 and 30, so you can have 70. Why can't I remember? See, now I'm screwing up my video. Where? Rings. Sapphire rings with as high as 12%. So you can have 70 plus an additional 24. You can have 94% mana regen on 2 items. Yes. Because you can run mana on rings. Yes, you can. Right, what else? Added mana Added bandit can no longer roll on boots, but it could roll on gloves. Oh, another thing. Check this out. Increased mana regen affix can no longer roll on gloves, but it can roll on belts and amulets as well. Belts. That's a good one. Armor, they buffed armor in this game. Other little fixes. Gold shrines now drop 400% more gold. User interface. You have already seen the map. Looks so much better. Loot filter is going to be able to take it to now another level, so the loot filter is going to be better. Inventory is going to look a whole lot cleaner. I have covered that. Stash tab, thank you, Jesus. We are going to be able to move the little tabs on the top to where we want. That should have been in the game already, but thank you for fixing it. Passives. This is going to take some getting used to, I could already tell. So passives are obviously start bottom and then work their way up. Now it is going to go left to right. So in here you can see that, you know, it gradually shows you where you're at and the points you've spent. Now they said that this is going to be a lot cleaner and it's going to be better for the future because at the bottom here, look how much more space they have for adding other skills. So I get it. They're trying to set themselves up for the future. Takes some time to getting used to, and obviously visually it's a lot cleaner. Okay. Passives. Anything in here? No, we just covered that. Crafting. I already made my dev chat. I showed you the new crafting menu. It's going to look a lot better. Ward. I will show you the new UI. Here we go. So user interface. So there's a couple things they wanted to do. They wanted to break out Ward. So Ward is no longer in the health. It has its own separate bar, which is going to be awesome for the Fire Necro because we have lots of Ward. And then in here, you can see that this bar, your skill bar, used to extend all the way to the left and the right. It no longer does that. It's now you can see through it. You can see under it. It actually is smaller and you can see more of the bottom screen, which I like. And I continue to ask for a way to completely remove it because once you have everything memorized, you have everything memorized. So, but the new UI, so much better. I'm excited to see this when the patch officially drops. Level improvements. Now we're talking about visuals. I always say it, visuals are going to continue to get better every single update. So you have some visuals for chapters, chapter 3, chapter 5, chapter 6. Look at this. We continue to complain and then they do this to us, which we deserve, the community. We say the game's too easy. I beat the whole thing. There's no challenge. I beat all the level 100 timelines. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 bosses are all getting buffs to their damage and more life. So if you were struggling before to beat a boss, get ready. Look at just Emperor of Corpses. I won't drop a build guide until that build guide has beat the Emperor of Corpses at level 100, just in case anybody is curious. Deals 18% more damage and has 16% more health. Goody, goody. Other changes, that's little stuff. And then look at this, visuals to skills. All these visuals to skills. Go and read it for yourself, because I'm not going to do it. I do want the shield throw visual for shield throw now rotates. I want to see that. Animation improvements. Sound improvements. Look at all the sound improvements. Controller support we already saw about in the video. Optimization. I thought this was interesting. Greatly improve the performance of organizing item labels on the ground, particularly with high number of items. The process takes 85% less time when there are around 140 items close together. Optimization. We like that. And then last, I think this is last, bug fixing. Look at all the bugs. Acolyte skill bugs. Mage skill bugs. Primalist skill bugs. Rogue skill bugs. Sentinel skill bugs. Passive bugs. Level bugs. Item bugs. User interface bugs. Enemy bugs. That is the update. Holy smokes. Look at me scrolling back up. Look at this. Scrolling. 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 It's massive. People are going to get mad at me because I'm going to say this. This is why I complain about Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. They dropped their major update, and I can literally cover it in 30 seconds because there's nothing in there. Last Epoch drops an update, and look at this thing. I could probably make a 1-hour video if I wanted to, reading everything. I am very, very impressed. All right, everyone, that's the video. I hope you are just as excited as me. 0.8.2 is officially upon us. I feel like I've made, what, 20 videos leading up to this, and now we get to finally play it. I want to know your thoughts. Are you excited? Did they do enough for this major update? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We are officially over 900 members. Great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. And remember, this is only part 1. Part 2 of this video will either be tonight or tomorrow morning, so stay tuned. That'll be me actually logging into the game, and we'll be looking at some of the differences through the eyes of my Fire Necro. That's all I've got. Aaron, out.